Will Lil Boosie release all the footage of Duke093, or will he wait with everybody else until the security company releases it? To find out, keep watching the whole video. Hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel so you always posted when we get these updates, and hit that like button, comment down below. The whole hit anyways. So it just looked like two trucks. It just looked like two random trucks. You really can't. When they ran the footage back, at first they didn't know what was going on because they were like, "What's all these trucks doing?" It just looked like trucks. You know, in the South, they be driving a lot of trucks in the South. So like old heads be driving trucks, people who be working be driving trucks and everything like that. So when you see a truck, the first thing in your, like when you see a truck, it's almost a different reaction. You don't expect nobody to jump out a truck and let off. You don't expect anybody to bring a truck into a play that's being ran. Like you would think that they would drive something less like low key, you know, and maybe something that could, like, they wouldn't even know what type of car it was, you know. So, but basically, because Duke had the truck, they knew Duke had a truck. And so they pulled up in their truck. And so as Duke going to his truck, he doesn't notice, hey, this truck coming by. He thinks it's some cowboy. He thinks it's a worker. It could be anybody. He thinks it's just some old plain Jane, like average Joe guy with a truck, right? But then as soon as they start, the tent was all heavy on it. And so he knew, it was like, okay, he can't trust the people in the truck because it's all tinted. He don't know who's behind that window. But then as soon as he sees the brake lights hit and that they literally boom, stop the truck. Everybody hops out the truck and they put the truck in reverse, like in case if Duke had to send any shots back, that they would put it in reverse and skirt backwards, right? So the whole play was in the parking lot, and Boosie said that he was actually close enough to hear everything that happened. So if he was close enough to hear it, that's basically being there almost. It's like, who's seen it? If Boosie could hear it, then there has to be people who seen it. Because Boosie's not going to stand right next to Duke. But there's probably people in between Duke and Boosie who seen more, but heard the same thing as Boosie, but they might have seen more. They might have had a closer vision, closer look at it. But at the end of the day, though, it's like everybody is thinking that, well, somebody had to know something about this because it happened so strategically planned. Like, how did they know? Okay, if it wasn't planned, then how did the people in the truck know to pull up into that parking area? How did they know to be ready? How did they know to catch Duke walking out that door at the perfect time? Because it's making it seem like it was people already watching Duke inside, and as soon as he walked out that door, that's when they walkie-talkied, radioed to the dudes in the truck to pull up and do the hit. Because you cannot time it any better where as soon as Duke walks out the door to the garage, the guys are turning the corner in the truck. Somebody had to let them know. There was either on FaceTime with somebody, literally standing behind Duke, like watching him walk out that door, and that's how they knew to turn the corner so quick. Or somebody was on the phone with them and they were telling them what Duke was doing next. Oh, Duke sitting down, Duke watching the show, Duke leaving out the back parking garage door. And then that's when they run up on him. And so that's why I was saying it's a lot of wolves around, a lot of people who's ready to do something. They ready to get any type of dollar, man. And so that's basically what happened, man. The people was watching him, around him. Boosie had to have known about the parking situation, that Duke wasn't going to be able to park next to him. But he didn't want to tell him that beforehand. Because if he would have told Duke it was going to be a problem with the parking situation, Duke would have never went to the show. He wouldn't have went to the show. He would have went somewhere else. And knowing that it's already too much of a risk, knowing he's going to bring $1 million out, that there was some type of play in motion. But either way, the fact that they had Duke park in a specific parking spot was what really had put the play in the green light because he had to be in a specific part where nobody was going to see anything, nobody was going to say anything, and nobody was going to do anything back to them, and that they were able to drive away clean and scot-free. And now a lot of things that people are saying is that dudes pulled up in a truck and that Duke was also driving a truck. So they try to make it look like it was two truck people having a feud or something like that. And so they knew that if Duke pulled up in a truck, that they got to pull up in a truck because it's going to make it seem like something different, or that it could be different people, or maybe that these two guys with the trucks know each other and maybe that's why they're getting into it, or who knows. But the whole thing is that they had pulled up in the truck and Duke was in the truck, and they got back in the truck and skirted off with everything in the Louis bags, everything with the diamonds, the chains, the gold, the jewelry, the money, the $600K from the dice game. So what you guys got to understand is that this whole thing was some certain type of pre-planned thing, because the guys that pulled up in the truck didn't just randomly see the guy and then decide to stop and pull over or whatever. Nope, that's not what happened. These guys already knew that they were going to make a move because they had the ski mask and everything on already. They were already strapped up, and basically they already were coming and riding through knowing that they was about to do something, because somebody had said and put them on to that whole play. Somebody had put him on to the fact that Duke had this, had that. And so that's how they went and ran that play. But they were a little sloppy with it because they basically got caught up on the cameras, on the CCTV, because there's only one way to get in and get out of the whole place. And they ended up going through the whole entire little gate that opens up, the arm. You're supposed to scan your ticket and the arm goes up and then they're supposed to drive through. But what happened is that when the person in front of them scanned their ticket and they got to exit out of the parking garage, they quickly sped the truck up and got through the gate before the arm went down. And so that's how they were able to actually get away and go on a high speed, but without nobody chasing them. So y'all got to understand, by this time, they're probably far away now, and they probably dumped the car. So now they're looking for the truck, they're looking for the car, trying to figure out if it's in a ditch somewhere or somebody set it on fire under the bridge. They don't really know, but they're keeping eyes out on everything. They looking back and trying to figure out if they left anything behind, if like a receipt or a piece of paper fell out the car, or if like maybe they tossed something out the door or window before. But they trying to reverse everything and basically find anything that they can. But that's the update that they said. But now everybody's talking about how they know that this could have been a back door or this could have been a setup, and that at least Boosie had to have known that there was some type of play, and that's why he went quickly to his car instead of going to Duke to try to get the piece that Duke was going to give to him. So whatever deal they had about getting the piece and this and that turned into basically that whole situation where the play was ran and Duke got hit up, and then now Boosie owes the $1 million, like pretty much a week after that or a couple of days after that, right? And now everybody's looking at that and saying that's got to be some type of ransom money, that's got to be some type of this, in order that is connected. And so if you know, like, I got any kind of comment on this, go ahead and comment it down below and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one.